Hello, everyone. Now, Reuters has reported on October 6th, 2022, there is a mass tort with claims that acetaminophen caused autism and ADHD. So we know acetaminophen by its popular name, Tylenol. Tylenol is the brand name and acetaminophen is the drug name, is the generic name. But that generic drug is the main ingredient in Tylenol. And there are other brands that are not as well known. Like there's one called Genexa now that even I have here in my home because I got it for free with coupons. But it's supposed to be clean, right? However, didn't we all think for ages that Tylenol was not harmful unless you had liver issues? Anyone with liver issues, you are either banned or on a restricted dosage of Tylenol because it does cause further liver damage. The acetaminophen, okay? I'm talking about the drug acetaminophen. However, let's get to this article by Reuters. Mass tort launched for claims that acetaminophen caused autism and ADHD. So far, 66 actions have been consolidated in Manhattan federal court. Some studies have linked prolonged acetaminophen exposure in the womb to the conditions. A federal judicial panel has created a new mass tort litigation for claims accusing Costco Wholesale Corporation, Walmart Incorporation, and other major retailers of failing to warn that using acetaminophen, a popular pain and fever reduction medication during pregnancy, can cause autism spectrum disorder and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder in children. The judicial panel on multi-district litigation in St. Louis on Wednesday consolidated 18 lawsuits for pretrial proceedings before U.S. District Judge Denise Cote in Manhattan. The panel sent an additional 48 cases to the newly created multi-district litigation on Thursday, saying the same scientific and legal questions underlie all of the cases. The lawsuits target retailers that sell the over-the-counter drug, also sold by Johnson & Johnson under the brand name Tylenol. They also name CVS Pharmacy Incorporated, Rite Aid, Safeway, Target, and Walgreens Boots Alliance Incorporated as defendants, but not manufacturers of the drug. So let me interject my little opinion, my little question. Why are they going after the retailers who have no hand in making the drug? Also, shouldn't that drug have a warning on the box so that the consumer would know the potential risks of taking that drug while you're pregnant? And if it doesn't have a warning on the box, clearly for everyone to see before they buy it, how is that the problem of the vendor? How is that the problem of the store that you bought it from? I mean, they're a retailer, right? They're not doctors. Anyway, I guess they do hold a little responsibility to make sure that the things that they are selling to the public are safe. But again, in my opinion, the main issue is that the makers of the drug would hold more responsibility. So back to the article. They also name CVS Pharmacy. Oh, I read that already. Sorry, you guys. We are pleased the judicial panel granted our motion to consolidate the cases over the defendant's objections and look forward to beginning work on this very important litigation that affected women and their autistic children across our nation, said Michael Watts of Watts Guerra, a lawyer for the plaintiffs. Lawyers for the retailers did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Plaintiffs in the lawsuits claim that the retailers failed to warn pregnant users of acetaminophen products about the neurological risks to the fetus. In their motion to create an MDL, plaintiffs' lawyers said it was virtually certain that tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of similar lawsuits would eventually be filed because of the popularity of acetaminophen and the growing prevalence of autism and ADHD. Health experts advise pregnant women to take acetaminophen rather than aspirin or ibuprofen, which can cause fetal organ, I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know what's going on with me today. So the aspirin and ibuprofen can cause fetal organ damage. But guess what, you guys? It can also cause damage in an adult, because in anyone rather. Like I said, not Tylenol, but acetaminophen, which is the main ingredient in Tylenol, can further liver damage. And now they're saying that it can cause ADHD and autism in babies, children, and the ibuprofen and aspirin are considered non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. If you see NSAIDs on the package, it is usually listed on ibuprofen, all of those. What is the other one? I can't even think. Any ibuprofen product. If you see NSAID on a package, just know that overuse can cause kidney damage. And if you already have kidney issues, speak to your doctor, because if you don't need to take this for another condition, then don't take it. That is my opinion. Okay, I'm not a doctor, but just from someone who knows a little bit and also has gone through, and I'm on dialysis. You know, if you want to save your renal function and you're not required to take an NSAID, do not take it. All right, back to the article. All the retailers opposed the creation of an MDL, saying the manufacturers of Tylenol and the generic store brand equivalents were conspicuously missing from the cases, but were necessary parties to resolve the disputes. I agree. They also said their products are safe and properly labeled under federal law, and that widely varying facts in individual plaintiffs' cases would make an MDL inefficient. So you guys remember, an MDL is a multi-district litigation. So it's just, I guess, I'm not a lawyer, but I guess it's a way to be able to go to different areas and have the plaintiffs all be under one lawsuit, maybe, you know. They also, the JPML, however, found that all of the cases involved common questions of fact, including whether acetaminophen can cause autism spectrum disorder or ADHD, whether the sellers knew or should have known of the danger, or whether they properly warned consumers. Multiple studies have found an increased risk for the disorders in children whose mothers use acetaminophen. Some studies have linked the risk to prolonged exposure, but not small amounts of the drug. The case is in acetaminophen ASD/ADHD products liability litigation, U.S. District Court, Southern District of New York, MDL number 3043. So, you guys, how many of you remember, just everyone you know, taking Tylenol? Oh, I have a headache, I have a backache. Just no second guessing about it. And then you start to hear all these things that Tylenol can cause. Well, I'm much older than my younger siblings, and by the time one of my siblings was 3 years old, I was already a grown woman. So my mother basically had two separate families. But I remember my mother taking Tylenol while she was pregnant. I remember my aunts taking Tylenol while they were pregnant. Friends of mine, all who've had kids, Tylenol. Of course, they did not take aspirin because of the risk of bleeding, right? So what is it that is going on with the acetaminophen these days? What is it that could be causing, if indeed it is causing, the ADHD and autism? What is it? Because you guys, think about it. There are so many things happening in this world right now. Things that we took for granted and never thought twice about is now making people sick, killing people. I mean, what is going on? Anyway, if you know someone who is pregnant, maybe warn them about what they think is going on. And if they absolutely have to take the Tylenol, try to not make it a habit. And definitely stay away from NSAIDs if you're pregnant. But let me know what you guys think. I've never had a child. So you mothers, let me know in the comments, did you use Tylenol when you were pregnant? All right, you guys, I'll see you in the comments.